Welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show, folks. This is not the first episode of the Willie Bragg Show of 2026, but it is the 2025, the year in review, and we are going to do the year 2025, the year in review with, of course, Angie Moon. Welcome back, Angie Moon.
Glad to be here. What an honor to be chosen to do this year-end thing.
Oh, well, absolutely. I'm always glad to have you back. And how's 2026 treating you?
Whew. Well, trying my best to hang in there. I know with the recent stuff in the news, I know it's happened just this year, stuff going on in Venezuela. I do fear for my own family since I have family who are, Caracas is my mother's birthplace. It was my grandparents' birthplace. I still have family that live in and around there. So it's, worrying, definitely thinking about that. I know that a lot of my family, especially the ones who've moved out of the country, are celebrating what's going on. But I feel like I'm the cynic here who's like, I do not trust the US and what they're doing.
Yeah,
I'm not criticizing any of my family for celebrating because Maduro's evil, but I think he and Trump have a lot more in common than people are willing to admit.
Yeah, I have a nuanced take in the sense that it's not my socialism per se. It's not my socialism per se, and I think that 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 it, this whole thing was this whole thing. It was like, I hate to quote Anna Kasparian, but she said that this is a repeat of 2003, but dumber. It's, instead of narco terrorists, I mean, it's narco terrorists in 2026, but in 2003 it was weapons of mass destruction, and in Iraq, and it's all about oil, and that's what it comes down to. And just that's what it comes down to. And what Trump did, he broke a campaign promise also, because he said no more wars, no more interventionism, and he chastised people like Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney during the fall of 2024 campaign, and then he turned into Dick and Liz Cheney. So he's a war criminal. Of course, he was a war criminal first time round when he went and unalive Kwaso and Salanami. So that's that's where I stand on Donald Trump. Is he as big a war criminal as George W. Bush and Dick Cheney? At this point, probably not yet, but there's plenty of time, I guess. And he's trying.
He's not far off.
Huh?
He's not far off.
He's not that far off. He's trying to catch up, and it's kind of like he's trying to out Bush and Cheney. I mean, I often said that from 2017 to 2021, he governed slightly to the left of George W. Bush, but today he makes George W. Bush look like Noam Chomsky, and that's sad. So, that's where we're at. So, I think that maybe this happened. This happened in late 24. I guess we'll start off, but it kind of gone into the year 2025, and we're talking about in relation to Luigi Mangione. So, I guess we should start off with a little bit of dark humor, and because that's the kind of guy I am. And we'll start off with oh, good Lord, where do we go? Give me a second here. Okay, let's see. Is it? Let's see. This is it. Thing about StreamYards. Yeah, this is it. This is from a clip from the Tim Dillon show, and that I took from late 2024, but I consider late 2024 adjacent to 2025, and it concerns Luigi Mangione, and I think it's appropriate to play it. So I will go and play it.
CEOs of healthcare companies. It's Christmas in New York. It's Christmas in New York. Men in hoodies are shooting their enemies. It's Christmas in New York. The kids are throwing snowballs. People are throwing bullets. People are ice skating in Central Park. People are getting shot at point blank range in the dark. It's Christmas in New York. Have a coffee and kill. Have a coffee and kill. Have a coffee and kill your enemies. No one really cares. No one really cares. CEOs of healthcare companies. It's Christmas in New York. It's Christmas in New York.
It kind of goes into a loop. So, yeah, that's Tim Dillon kind of commenting on Luigi Mangione in his kind of warped humor kind of way. So.
Honestly, I can't believe there are people mourning the healthcare CEO's death and are like finger wagging at people who are supporting Luigi. I'm like, it just annoys me here in the UK that they're probably going to get rid of in the next, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens in the next 5-10 years, that they get rid of, the NHS and they privatize everything. And I can't believe there are people that just cheer that on.
Well,
I know that's not popular here, but I still, even just one person supporting it still makes me upset. Like, just how selfish can you be? How narcissistic can you be?
Well, Nigel Farage must never become prime minister of the UK. I mean, that's just, that's just.
No, I don't trust Labour either. I mean, Labour are just basically reform light at this point.
Oh, I agree. I totally.
And I also don't trust the Green Party. I'm not really too impressed with Zach Polanski either. Like, there's definitely a few things in his, background kind of that I'm like, ooh, I'm not sure about that. Like, I think he might have been behind like Corbyn being ousted, like supporting that.
What was he in Labour at the time when it happened? Or
no,
something?
But I think he had Zionist views then.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, yeah.
Even when I was more pro-Israel leaning, I still liked Corbyn.
Well, what happened with Corbyn? It was just a travesty of justice. And I would never forgive Keir Starmer for what he did back after that election. What was it, 2019, 2020 when it happened?
2019, I think, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I would never forgive him for that. And I mean, he's just incompetent. He is Britain's Biden.
Oh yeah, British Biden. And then just some of the things, like one of the things I think that kind of pisses me off is just he just like the way he supports Israel. I'm like, I don't know. That just pisses me off a lot.
Yeah, it was wild that the Labour Party were pretty open about their hostility toward Israel. I think that when Blair took over the party in the 1990s, that's when they just kind of waltzed right back in there. I mean, in the 70s they kind of took an anti-Zionist position, and then by the time Blair came in, they kind of walked back in there. So, I don't know. It's going to take. I actually predict. I was talking to somebody. I think that the Labour Party. I think that your party of Jeremy Corbyn. I think that what's going to happen is that they're going to all eventually end up back in the Labour Party, including Jeremy Corbyn. That's what I think is going to happen, because the Labour parties have had splits before, and a lot of the people that split off from the Labour Party in the past end up right back into the Labour Party. It's happened over the years.
Yep.
Yeah. The only thing that was a long-standing split that remained permanent was the what they called the Gang of Four in 1980 that became the Social Democratic Party that split off and that weakened the party in 83, in 83, which caused Margaret Thatcher to have her landslide victory. And then the Social Democratic Party and the Liberal Party merged in 88, became the Liberal Democrat Party, as is known today. So who's to say, you know? And I would never vote for the Liberal Democrat Party in the UK either. They're pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But let's play another clip from Tim Dillon, and I hope that the UK never Americanized the NHS.
I just don't want it to be Americanized in general. I think maybe the only American things that I'll accept here are like chain stores and stuff. I'm fine with those existing here, I guess. But like not the out of control capitalism.
Yeah. I just no more Americanization. Americanization sucks.
If anything, I'll take like China taking over the US taking over. I will take China instead.
Yeah. So here we go. This is from Breaking Points, and it's kind of still they're talking about Tim Dillon and the
I think I remember this clip. Yeah, I think I remember him mocking him. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's still kind of relevant for the year 2025. So we'll play it. I won't play it all the way through. We'll just play a little bit of it.
The wake of the murder of healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. And the latest to offer a take is Tim Dillon, who, as part of a Netflix roast, actually dressed up as the ghost of Brian Thompson and had quite a bit that he leaned into here. Let me go ahead and show you a little bit of what he had to say.
Socialist pig! Is this what you want? Clap it up! Here's a free medicine. There you go. That's fentanyl. Have as much as you want. It's fentanyl laced with more fentanyl. I'm Brian Thompson. I'm going to hell for this. You might as well laugh.
Going to hell for this. You might as well laugh. Here were some other of the things that he said, Emily. I'll just pull up the New York Post. Comedian Tim Dillon appeared as the ghost of slain United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Netflix's Torching 2024, a roast of the year on Friday, less than a month after the executive was gunned down. They talk about how he was dressed similar to the way that Thompson was, donned ghoulish gray makeup, was met with a mixture of nervous laughter and cheers. He introduced himself and had a sign that read United Healthcare CEO, addressed the elephant in the room, saying as Thompson that he's been in hell reading the tweets that a lot of people are happy he's dead. Quote, your reaction to my murder makes me sick, and not the type of sick I would immediately deny for not having the proper paperwork, the comedian said, taking a jab at United Healthcare's track record of denying its policies members. So there you go. Tim Dillon weighing in with his take. Emily, did you see a lot of pearl clutching over this, or people just sort of like accepted it at this point?
No, I actually looked because as we were prepping the show, I assumed that this would have elicited some of the pearl clutching that we saw earlier. And I'm not saying all of that is unreasonable, but there really wasn't any. I don't know if it was because it was the holiday break, or if it's actually because of the poll that we're going to talk about. And it's becoming sort of increasingly clear that to the Tim Dillons of the world sort of do have their fingers more firmly on the pulse of the public.
Is that there was an effort to make it seem like this reaction to Brian Thompson's murder was just some like far left, ghoulish reaction. But polls like this tell you that it was pretty widespread. 69% of Americans say that health insurance claim denials had a great deal or a moderate amount of responsibility for the killing of CEO Brian Thompson, according to a new poll. If you go down the list here too, you've got 67% saying that profits made by health insurance companies had a great deal or a moderate amount to do with it. Wealth or income in general, you have a majority view. And then this was kind of crazy to me. If you look at this bottom number, so they say, okay, but how about the dude who actually killed him? Mm-hmm. And obviously 78% of people are like, yeah, I mean, that probably had something to do with it, like this actual man who was a murderer. But it was astonishing to me that you had 20% of people who said that the literal guy who killed him had only a little or nothing at all to do with the murder. Like that part is actually crazy to me.
Granted, you can get 20% of Americans to say just about anything, but only 63% when we were looking at that said that he is like bearing the full responsibility, which means people have very mixed opinions. Like that 63% number to me is even more significant. Like it's a majority, yes, but it's not like a commanding majority. It's like people have pretty mixed emotions about what happened. And so I think, Crystal, you might be right that the immediate freak out over sort of the dirtbag left, right? Like this is just the dirtbag left, and they're just such dirtbags. They're such losers, and they're just they're trolling, and we're gonna have this moral panic over how awful it is that they're trolling. Really, I think has become clear was missing the boat, was not the right argument to be making. Is like, if you want to actually convince people or persuade people to have a different approach to what happened to Brian Thompson, if you want to actually say, you know, this was, you can't be like ironically worshiping Luigi with the prayer candles and the memes. Probably there's a different line of argument that you want to be making than you're all disgusting idiots, because it's a lot of people.
I'm all for offending anybody who's offended by people mocking Brian Thompson. I mean, that's where I stand.
I agree. Like the most offensive thing is the fact that tens of thousands of people die every year because they can't afford healthcare. Like money shouldn't be the reason you can't go to the doctors. Like the only reason you don't go to the doctor is you just don't want to go. That should be it. That's all.
That should be your decision. If you don't want to go, that should be your decision. You know,
money. Like I don't care about offending billionaires. I don't care about their feelings. You know, like the real offensive thing is just the fact that there's so few people who have so little money, who have so much money, and then like we're allowing, like America doesn't have to have any homeless people. There's no need for there to be anybody to be homeless. There is no reason that anybody should be in poverty. There is no reason that people don't have health care. It's just greed.
Yeah, the late David McReynolds from the Socialist Party said that he said that if you're sleeping outside at night, it should be because you have a sense of adventure, not because you're homeless. And
that's a really good quote.
Yeah,
because like, it should just be your choice. Like you want to go camping or something, not because, well, you're sleeping rough. That's it.
Exactly. So, as I said earlier, we have here on the chat line, we have Warren on the chat line here, and we have the Undercurrent, which is a show that he and Lainey Peterson co-host every Wednesday morning, and they're saying hi, folks. So there we go. So and hopefully we'll have some more people coming. I don't normally live stream at this hour. I usually do it around 8 o'clock at night or 7 or something like that. So it'll be tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. Is it? Well, yeah, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So anyway, we'll go with the next story here. And of course, with the with the obvious and the most obvious story that there is, and that's of course this past January. And let me scroll and find that. It's what happens when you're your own producer in a way. Okay, where is that link? Where the hell is that link? Okay, I'm trying. Oh, here we go. I found it. Just in case everybody's not aware, Donald Trump got sworn in earlier last year.
I can't believe it's been an entire year of Trump being president. Pretty
Yes,
much.
yes. Here we go.
Feels like an eternity.
Welcome Chief Justice Roberts to administer the presidential oath of office.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States
the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Oh my God, Bill looks so sleepy.
Yeah, and get the idea of her fashion statement, talking about Melania dressing up as a hamburger.
Nobody on that side knows how to dress well. Like, no MAGA person can dress well.
I think that the fashion designer decided to do that on purpose.
Oh yeah, they must hate them so much, so they're like, let's go and make them look as bad as possible.
I think that's what happened. I was like, it was like, oh no, that will make a great fashion statement. I assure you. And
Emperor has no clothes, or like, Katie trying to sabotage Regina and Mean Girls.
yeah, there you go.
Alton bars.
Yeah. So, in relation to the inauguration and all that, a certain evil rubber-faced trillionaire, he's a trillionaire now, did a very naughty thing earlier last year. Remember that?
The ADL did not condemn.
Yeah.
Because he supports Israel, so all's good.
Elections, they come and go. Some elections are, important, some are not. But this one, this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured.
Yeah. That was mighty suspicious.
And there was like that one I don't know if it's pastor, whatever the heck his title is. There's that one guy in the UK, Calvin something or other.
Oh, Father Calvin Robinson.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
he did the same thing. He copied that, which makes no sense because he's mixed, and he did that.
Yeah, he
And
came to the United States to become a priest here, and they kicked him out of the church. Yeah, they were like, no, we don't. They were like, they wouldn't have it. So they were kind of embarrassed that he did that, you know. So I heard about him. He's kind of a fucked up individual.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he did that little well, you know, that Roman salute too. But I had people telling me that was misunderstood, and that I'm reading way too much into what Elon Musk was really doing and all that. And I'm like, no, there is no reading into it. He did what he did, you know, and they're getting kind of bold now. I mean, you know, it's no longer dog whistles. There is now foghorns. I mean, you know,
they're trying to. Some of his dumbass supporters are trying to say that Mamdani did the same thing. I'm like, no, he didn't. It's so obvious that he didn't. Like, you just like no.
Yeah, they will do the same thing with they'll try to find various people and claiming that they did, you know. I mean, they did that with, I mean, I got problems with AOC, but no, AOC is not doing no Hitler salute. Come on now, you know. I mean,
or Obama didn't either. It's like,
yeah.
no.
Yeah,
Even I don't like Obama. Come on, I'm like, there's better arguments against them.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Since we're gonna go with this whole Hitler thing, we'll put a comedy spin into it, because that's what we were talking about that earlier. About well, I'll surprise the audience here. So let me find that. Video. Yeah, it's the Australian story I was telling you about. It's from Sky News. I think that's like owned, if I'm correct, isn't that owned by Rupert Murdoch?
Yeah, it is Rupert Murdoch. So it's like Australian Fox News, basically.
Yeah. So
I remember seeing that a lot, like on billboards and stuff around Australia when I was there.
I remember seeing Sky News when I was in England 20 years ago. Yeah. And probably they might be slightly more sane than the domestic Fox News, but that's not saying a lot. But, you know, yeah. Here's the story.
It's now night 3 of T-shirt Gate. The protection racket in the media and in politics is firmly kicking in behind Albanese, and the heat is turning on Susan Lee, despite the fact he's in the wrong and she isn't. Now, to recap, on Monday night, I reported that Anthony Albanese knew the cruel meaning of the Joy Division T-shirt he wore as he stepped off the VIP plane from Washington. Yet he wore it anyway. He was told by esteemed podcaster Nigel Marsh that it related to a wing in a concentration camp where Jewish women were sex slaves to the Nazis. We're talking rape and sexual abuse. And that wing was called the Joy Division. Now, it's difficult to believe the Prime Minister would choose to wear this T-shirt given he knows the meaning of the name. So that was Monday night. Now, as I've said repeatedly, when I first saw him wearing the T-shirt, I wasn't fired up about it. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. But then it emerged that he did know the meaning of the band name. As I said, Nigel Marsh told him. And worse, Albanese asked Nigel to delete this fact from his podcast.
I'm sorry for giving you that piece of dark background.
You should edit that out of the podcast just for the sake of the listeners, I think, so that they can continue to enjoy it. But that was so dark.
So Albanese, the Prime Minister, and at the time this podcast came out, it was April 2022. He was campaigning to be the PM, and he asked Nigel Marsh to delete the part about what Joy Division means. Now, Susan Lee, after seeing my report, she said that Albanese showed poor judgment, that he should apologise. She raised the issue in Parliament right before question time on Tuesday.
The Prime Minister of this country, in full knowledge of the meaning behind the name of this band, should choose to wear this T-shirt is an insult to all, and it fails the basic tests of leadership. He should apologise immediately.
Yet Albanese is refusing to apologise, and somehow it's now Susan Lee who's under pressure. Now, is this the biggest deal in the world? No, of course it's not.
Of course.
Is this Albanese's biggest crime? Hardly. But it is still a story, and it does matter. The Prime Minister knew the meaning of the band name, and he chose to wear it when disembarking from the most important trip of his career. Now, I can reveal that senior Jewish leaders have expressed their disappointment. The rabbi at Sydney's prestigious Central Synagogue, Rabbi Levi Wolf, told me this. He said, considering the anti-Semitism crisis in this country, I don't see that it is in the PM's interest to offend our precious Australian Holocaust survivors, the highest number in the world per capita. The rabbi says, mate, throw away the T-shirt, offer a sincere apology, and be done with it. That's Rabbi Wolf from Central Synagogue in Sydney. Now, in Melbourne, Caulfield Synagogue's Rabbi Danielle Rabin told me this. I'm sure the Prime Minister didn't intend to cause offence, but this moment is a reminder of how important historical awareness is, especially at a time when anti-Semitism is rising. Symbols and names can carry deep and painful meanings for many in the Jewish community. What matters now is that we continue to promote understanding and sensitivity so that we build a society grounded in respect and unity. And Rabbi on Demand's Yossi Friedman also agrees. He said, most people don't realise that Joy Division refers to a Nazi term for enslaved Jewish women in the Holocaust. Even if unintentional, symbols like that carry deep pain, and leaders should be mindful of the messages their choices send, especially in these times of increased anti-Semitism. Wise words from all three rabbis. And the Australian Jewish Association's Chief Executive, Robert Gregory, also said this might have been excused as a harmless wardrobe choice, except the Prime Minister was previously made aware of the dark origins of the band's name. It's hard to imagine him disregarding such a warning and wearing something that could offend any other minority group. And if he did, we can be sure an apology would follow swiftly. He says, sadly, this fits a familiar pattern. The Prime Minister has too often downplayed the concerns of the Jewish community, and this latest incident only reinforces that impression. Now, like I said, this isn't the biggest deal in the world, but it does matter. This isn't an average Australian wearing an offensive T-shirt. It's our Prime Minister landing back in Australia fresh after meeting the President of the United States. And he asked, as I told you last night, he asked the media not to film him as he disembarked the plane. He didn't want to be filmed in the T-shirt. Now, this goes to his character. Even ardent Joy Division fans tell me they'd never buy or wear the T-shirt. And even the podcaster Nigel Marsh said in that podcast that he struggles with support for their music.
Joy Division fans are they talking to?
Shouldn't be a difficult topic. And radio host Ben Fordham today called on the Prime Minister just to say sorry.
I don't think an apology's out of the question, and I'm gobsmacked that the Prime Minister has not taken the tip and turfed the T-shirt. The PM's conversation with the podcast host was not your run-of-the-mill conversation. He was genuinely shocked to hear that one of his favourite bands is named after a wing of a Nazi concentration camp, a place where women were attacked and abused and faced horrific acts of humiliation. But Albo went ahead and wore the shirt anyway. And he hasn't commented on this. He hasn't apologised yet. I think he should.
Imagine if a Liberal MP wore a T-shirt that's offensive to a minority group. What if it were a Kanye West T-shirt? The left would be going nuts. Albanese just wanted to be the cool leader wearing a band T-shirt after a meeting with the president. He wanted to be DJ Albo. He loves that image.
I wear band shirts all the time when I can. These days, I've got to say, one of the downsides, I'm much more comfortable in a South Sydney shirt or a band shirt and jeans than I am in a suit and tie, I've got to say.
Keeping it real.
But it's part of the job is I spend my life in a suit and tie.
Yeah, he's so cool, isn't he? But Albanese has been exposed for trying to hide a dark chapter in history. Just delete it from the podcast. And the left, along with Susan Lee's enemies, are scrambling to make excuses for him yet again. Except there are no excuses. As Ben Fordham says, just apologise, mate, and throw out the T-shirt.
Oh, my God.
Much outrage over nothing. And, part of it is just wrong, because the whole thing is the Joy Division thing came from a book called House of Dolls, which was written by a concentration camp survivor.
I own that damn T-shirt. I own the same
House
damn
of Dolls. So, I wonder if they would get mad at the concentration camp survivor that wrote that book about Joy Divisions. Just because something is portrayed in the media doesn't mean it's cheering it on. And also, the 70s was a super duper edgy time. And it's so funny that these people are all about, oh yeah, tried this, tried that. But I'm like, the 70s was all about edgy humor.
Exactly.
It was all dark humor, edgy humor. They couldn't handle shit. The conservatives are the ones who really get offended at things like Blazing Saddles and other edgy humor.
Yeah, look at them. For 5 minutes, a decade ago, for 5 minutes, conservatives were correct about liberals getting offended over every goddamn thing for about 5 minutes. And I was with them for 5 minutes. But now they're getting mad about the Black Mermaid. They're getting mad about a gay Santa Claus. They're getting mad about, Minnie Mouse wearing a pantsuit. I'm like, get over it, Get over it, people. It's just kind of like, this is what they're getting mad about. They're getting mad about just the littlest things, They're getting mad about was the Cat in the Hat? Is that
Dr. Seuss? Oh yeah, some offensive.
Yeah. Dr. Seuss. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, if you really want to be such an asshole that you want to sit there and degrade minorities groups, nobody's going to stop you from buying the fucking old editions of Dr. Seuss. I mean,
there's plenty of books out there. Just go to a secondhand bookstore. They're out there.
Yeah.
It's not just like with the Disney movie Song of the South, it's not impossible to find it. You can find it online. It's not that good of a movie, but yeah, you can find it online.
And Snow White, they're getting mad because the actress that plays Snow White was Hispanic. I mean, just get over it, folks. I mean,
I dressed up as Snow White when I was in preschool for Halloween. I wonder if conservatives would get triggered by that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how people just get triggered over it. But when I agree with the conservatives when liberals are getting triggered over Halloween costumes. I mean, people are having Halloween costumes to have fun. A decade ago. I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
I wonder if they'd be clutching their pearls at people wearing Hugo Boss, considering they designed the Nazi uniforms. Or people driving a Volkswagen.
There you go. Yeah, because a Volkswagen. I mean, that was the people's car. I mean, Hitler promoted the Volkswagen.
Fanta was invented by the Nazis. Should we
Yeah.
just not drink Fanta?
In Fanta, yeah. What dismantled the Autobahn? You know,
I mean, I'm trying to think of other things. Didn't IBM do stuff for Nazis? I can't remember what other companies did stuff for them, but like, just where does it end? Like, I don't know. Like, and the funniest thing is when I went to Israel, people there did not like, they had such a blunt, like kind of offensive, dark sense of humor over there. Like, people were making Holocaust jokes over there. I saw these people making Holocaust jokes there. I was like, they did not care. Like, it was really interesting seeing like the differences between people of Mediterranean and Eastern European descent versus the Americans, because the Americans got offended way more easily than the Eastern Europeans and the Mediterraneans. The Eastern Europeans and Mediterraneans just didn't care.
Well, I know that like in a lot of European countries that you can go to prison for Holocaust denial and making Holocaust denial statements and things of that nature. And I mean, I think that somebody who makes Holocaust denial statements and utterance, they're a low life, but I also think it's a free speech issue.
Same. Like, I agree with that. And I had an ancestor that died in the Holocaust. I'm like, yeah, like let them talk their bullshit and just show how ridiculous it is. Just go and respond to it and just make them out to be bigger idiots. If you allow them to speak, they'll look like an even bigger idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to think what else. Like, oh man, it's just, oh yeah, like recently, like with the news of Brigitte Bardot dying, and then people are just, like, I understand that she was a horrible person, and people are like, oh, she was such a racist that she got arrested for it. I'm like, I don't agree with her getting arrested or fined for it.
I don't
agree with that at all. Like, I think she had horrible views, but I don't think that she should have been thrown in jail or fined or whatever for it. Same thing with like Morrissey. Like, no, I don't want him to go to jail for that.
Yeah, she collaborated with Serge Gainsbourg, a Jewish pop singer.
Bonnie and Clyde, great song. Initials BB, amazing songs.
Yeah. Have you heard Bonnie and Clyde by Serge Gainsbourg and
yes,
and Brigitte Bardot?
That's a great one. I love Gainsbourg.
Yeah, I got the greatest hits here, and I played it. I found a way to play it without copyright the other day. Commenting on her death, I found a cover of it, and I was like, and it was a good cover of it, so I played it for everyone here. So it was, and the people who did it, they did justice to it. So yeah. When I listen to her singing, she kind of reminds me of Nico from the Velvet Underground.
Yes, I can definitely see that. And that's another controversial figure, because as beautiful as she was, as iconic as she was, oh my God, did she have some pretty bad takes.
Okay. What takes did she have? I'm afraid that
apparently was pretty racist and did say some pretty anti-black things. I think she sang Deutschland über alles on one of her albums in the 70s, but I guess that was just a time of dark humor.
Oh, I hope that she was just being edgy. Yeah, I hope she was being edgy. Yeah.
I think it was just being edgy, but I think she also may have had some sort of, anti-Jewish views, but no, I don't think anything that bad. I mean, I don't know.
Have you ever heard of a group called Deaf and June?
No.
Yeah, they're from England. They live in Australia, believe it or not. Now, Deaf and June is a post-punk band founded in 1981. You listen to their earlier music; they sound like Joy Division, but they end up they still kind of ended up sounding like Joy Division, but they're kind of experimental, and they took the fascist imagery that and Joy Division did the fascist imagery very early on, but they sort of did that and went an extra mile during that. So they have been constantly. Joy Division don't really get accused of that anymore, but Deaf and June has been accused so much of that when they tour, they have trouble touring in certain countries. Certain countries will ban them because they literally dress in the uniforms, and the lead singer's gay, Douglas Pierce.
And that's the thing, like, it's weird that I bet the people getting all outraged about this, probably majority of them are straight people, majority of them are Gentiles. And I'm like, look, I think if you satirize and stuff like that, you know, like, I wonder what people would say about like Charlie Chaplin and the Great Dictator. Like, are people going to be like, no, you can't do things like that either?
I don't know if it's satire or they really mean it, but whenever they interview him, he's always ambiguous about it. I mean, he doesn't directly answer it. And I think it's part of the act too.
Yeah, it's just to get people talking. I mean, David Bowie, I mean, a lot of people just really make a big stink of him and like his edgelord phase of pretending to be a fascist in the 70s, but I think it was just being an edgelord. I mean, what's next? Are people going to say that Roger Waters' The Wall is promoting fascism, even though he's a friggin' socialist? Like, people just don't know how to use their brains. People just take everything at face value, and it just confuses me so much because I'm like, I have autism. I'm expected to do things like this, and these people are normal, and they do this more than I do.
Yeah, Sue from Susie and the Banshees.
Yeah, they're
wore
great.
a swastika on stage in the 70s, and she's partly Jewish. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, it was just
Sid Vicious had that swastika shirt, and he was dating a Jewish woman, Nancy Spungen.
Yeah, so there you have it. I mean, it's just people just being, you know,
there's so many bigger things to worry about than whatever people are wearing or whatever. I'm like, I don't care. Like,
you know, so yeah, it just people being edgy at that time, like you said, and you know, just no, not that swastikas are cool. The swastikas,
no, or not.
No.
I mean, like when I was going around Japan, they still have like swastikas and stuff around like some of the Buddhist things. Like you'll see it on.
That's different. Yeah,
different. But oh my god,
those are not swastikas.
We were like, oh no, this is a hate symbol. My brother and I were acting all like performative.
And some of the Native Americans have that too, and they're not swastikas. Yeah, they're not swastikas. I mean, they just happen to look like them.
You understand the context. It's like I feel bad for Indians because, like, man, their culture was so appropriated. You know, like the whole area, like Aryan is originally Indian, and
right,
and then the swastikas were originally from India as well. I mean, that name comes from Sanskrit, and yeah, it's just like it's so weird. Just man, like I also get mad when like far right wingers like appropriate paganism, and like yeah, I mean I get it, it's you know the indigenous religions of Europe, but like they should be inclusive like any religion should just be, do you believe in it or not, you know?
Yeah, I think that with the far right, they're divided. Some of them will do the paganism, and some of them straight up Christianity. And even with some of them, you know, like the Nick Fuentes type, he wants a Catholic theocracy. You know, that's what he wants. But in America, I think that a lot of them wants an evangelical fundamentalist type. They call it Christian identity. So it just depends what type you run across in that regard. And then there's some who are atheists. So there's diversity, I guess you could say, within the.
Yeah, definitely. Like a lot of people act like the right are very united, but they're not. And it's so clear to see, like, with the way that like people are beefing with each other, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, like all these splinters and stuff.
Yeah, it's beautiful seeing them fight amongst themselves. Let them fight.
Yeah, let these idiots fight each other.
Let them fight. Let them fight. Yeah, yes. Let's see here. I'm going real random, but I want to share this with you. These guys have been on my show, and I'm going to play this video here. They got banned off of what do you call it? TikTok. And they're good guys. They're called Red State Update. They've been around for 20 years. In spite of how they sound, and in spite of how they sound, and in spite of how they look, they're not right wingers. I mean, that's the thing right there. Let's see if we can find that. Let me find that. Actually, before I do, a little bit of humor here. So Warren will appreciate this. Okay. Warren Delaney will.
So the other night, Willie was on for Festivus, and I'm sure he probably doesn't want me to play this, but I'm going to play it anyway because I feel like I should. If I can actually find this. All right. So this is from the other night. I know, sidebar. We'll get back to the top 25 here in just a second. So this is from the other night. Our buddy Willie Bragg having a snooze, and Willie's asleep. Willie Bragg, you asshole! You wake the fuck up, you piece of shit, you fuckface! Wake up, you ass face fucker! Look at him! Wait a minute, where is he?
He's gone. Let him sleep.
There he is.
Let him sleep. The man works hard.
What time is it?
It's bedtime. He works hard.
He's off. He's off work. He ain't gonna do nothing. No, I'm just fucking with Willie. You just let's see that again. So there's Willie Bragg. There's a live shot. Willie Bragg sleeping in his house with a nice British flag behind him from the UK and those balls on the tree. Check out those balls back there. Those are Willie Bragg's balls back there.
And I got
I'm communicating to you psychically with my eyes closed. I'm just resting my eyes. I'm perfectly here and paying attention to everything.
Willie, we love you to death, man. That's the only reason I would play that because we celebrate you. So please, Willie's probably like, you motherfucker. So the other night, Willie was on.
Yeah, I was on Festivus with Warren and some other folks, and I fell asleep because I was awake all day from working graveyard shift, and I had a lot of crap I had to do before I came on the show, and I fell asleep on the live stream. So
wow,
yeah. Have you ever fallen asleep on a live stream before?
Not a live stream, but I've definitely fallen asleep in places where I'm like, I really shouldn't have fallen asleep because I should have been awake. Like, but it's usually from jet lag or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually not the first time I've fallen asleep on a live stream. I mean, I've done my own live stream here on a Willie Bragg show, and I'm like doing my live stream, and I'm like,
At most, I'll space out. Like, I might space out and look off into the distance, but that would be about it.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, okay. Look, guys, I guess I'm gonna have to go. And I've done that in the past almost 6 years. Of February 17th, it'll be 6 years since I started live streaming. So, and as you know, I've now just reached over 1,000 a couple of weeks ago. So, and so I'm very happy about that. So,
congrats.
Yeah. So it's just like life is a bowl of cherries, I guess. So. Now my goal is to get up to 2,000. Anyway, yeah, so I guess we should probably do the next story here, and I guess we'll actually let's go with that band video first. I was trying to find that one. Oh, here it is. Where is that? Oh, here it is. There it is, right in front of me. All right. Banned by TikTok. It's Red State Update. These guys are from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Actually, they live in LA now, but they started off in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and they are basically anti-Trump rednecks. So spoiler alert. And they've been on my show, and they're good guys.
Out of hell with TikTok. I don't give a damn. I don't have to be on that. TikTok can stick it up there, you know what? We's permanently banned forever and ever, whatever it is. I guess whatever it is we did on there is banned.
It may have been us talking about Trump and Epstein.
Oh, is that what it is?
TikTok, we put up stuff and people say, I wish my people was like that, or why don't you talk some sense to my daddy or whatever. And that was nice. And we're like, yeah, we're better than all them other men. But something we said made TikTok mad. One video we got a strike. It was the one where I was talking about Donald Trump and Epstein. being models of male friendship in this age of loneliness. Business leaders, pedophiles out there showing us what it was like for two men to connect and, emotionally support each other.
Yeah.
You can't put all that on your wife or your underage girlfriends. We're doing satire.
Political satire. Yeah.
I don't really think you should look to Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein to be models of male friendship.
For anything. Nothing, male friendship, any kind of friendship, human decency, anything. Don't look to them to do it unless you a hateful, ignorant bigot. And a pedophile, I guess. One of them is for sure. One of them is for sure. There are plenty of victims who have claimed that he did this and that. I ain't saying he did it.
Do they still have their TikToks?
I don't know if they do or not. Probably not.
If we just throw in an allegedly every once in a while, that'd make it okay. A lot of times if you say allegedly, everybody knows you don't mean it. You just got to say it so TikTok don't take you down. We're spending way too much time talking about damn Epstein, saying pedophile 100 times. Pedophile.
I don't want to say pedophile over and again. Trust me, there's a million other words I'd rather be saying all the damn time. It's because it's in the damn news every day. It's in the damn news. I ain't the one coming up with it. I guess about the only place you don't hear pedophile anymore is Fox News, where you used to hear it 24/7. Nowadays, you don't hear nothing about that. Don't hear nothing about the current economy.
So they took that down, and then next thing I know, the whole thing has gone down.
Yeah.
You can't talk to real people. They don't tell you nothing. They said something about misinformation to us.
He just fired the person that come out with the job reports. The TikTok needs to worry about that, not my dumb ass. Excuse my language, but hell. TikTok says, look, you making good videos. We like videos. You need to make some more videos like this. Here's $500 or here's $200. Make more videos like this. And we're like, well, we're going to do that anyway, but sure, we'll take your money. Fine. All right. Here you go. There's more just like it. Take you all down. Well, it turns out they ain't going to give us our money now either. So I'm mad about that. You tell somebody you earn this money and then I don't care. You still owe me a paycheck or whatever.
Jackie, we don't do this for money.
I know I don't. I ain't ever seen a dime for it.
We do it for our ego.
Well.
And to hear ourselves talk. That's why white men do podcasts.
Well, I guess you got a point there.
We've been doing this for years and years. How much money you think we've made to get maybe a used sedan? Maybe.
If y'all want to raise hell, get mad at TikTok. Sure, get us back on there. It should be censored for what you're saying about what this administration's doing because it's pretty awful. So I think we should be on TikTok or wherever, raising hell about it like every good American should be. If we can get people hollering at TikTok, tell you what we're going to do, the money that's to owe us, we're going to find a good charitable organization for the LGBTQ plus community in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, maybe some legal expenses for immigration. We'd be happy to divvy that money up with those communities, do it real quick if TikTok gives us money that they owe us.
We'll keep you posted.
Sure.
If you do get on TikTok or anywhere where you can yell at TikTok, we were Jackie and Dunlap. That's what we were on there. Don't get too excited. It's about $1,500.
It ain't a whole lot, but it's
a big deal to
us. We would have liked to have put that in our pocket, but there's certain
20 years, folks. 20 years we've been doing this. But now it's time to get revenge.
Yeah.
And 2, give his money to charities, Middle Tennessee.
People more deserving. TikTok, take it on, put it up. I don't give.
Anyway, yeah, that's Travis and Jonathan from Rest State Update. As I said, they're basically anti-Trump progressive rednecks from Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's kind of nice to know that there are people in that cultural world that they don't live up to the stereotype.
Absolutely. Like everyone's an individual.
Yeah. So, and sometimes you run across people that you would think that they're lefties, that they're hardcore righties.
Oh, yeah. A lot of hippies are very right wing.
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make any sense. There's also like fake punks who are right wing, and
oh my gosh, yeah, I ran across a few over the years, and yeah, I over the years. I had a few people that kind of blocked me over the years online because we couldn't see eye to eye, and you know they were wrong, and they were jackasses, and they were snowflakes. So that's what happens. So I guess you probably know that Charlie Kirk, something really bad happened to Charlie Kirk. And,
oh yeah,
yeah,
I remember when I first saw the video. I remember my friend was saying, "Hey, Charlie Kirk just got shot," and I saw the video and I was like, "Oh, is this AI?" Because I was thinking, "Oh God, well, there's lots of AI videos out there." No, it was real. It was like startling. And now, like, we've gone from like firing people for making jokes about it to now the "We Are Charlie Kirk" AI song is a meme, and I can't stop laughing at the memes related to it.
I remember when he was unalived. I hate to have to say that because we're not allowed to say the other word. That's just so ridiculous. When he was, what happened to him, and the fact that they demand for all of us to suck them off, it pissed me off.
It's giving North Korea, because that's what they do in North Korea. They force you to mourn the leader.
Yeah, they were wanting us to mourn the leader. Look, I don't believe in expiring your political opponents. None of them. No matter how much I disagree with somebody, I do not believe in expiring your political opponents. But when somebody who I think is a horrible person, when they're gone, I'm going to go and take a shit on their legacy. Doesn't mean that I'm glad that they're, no longer with us, but I'm not going to have empathy for them. And I'm going to go and make fun of them, not make fun of their not existing anymore, but make fun of their life. And they were snowflakes. I mean, I got like crapped on several months ago on, especially on Facebook. As much much of a cesspool as Twitter is sometimes, I can avoid right wingers on Twitter easier than I can on Facebook. Strangely enough, that's part of the reason I had to kind of take a break off.
Facebook has gotten so much worse. Like I'm done with Twitter, but like Facebook, oh my God, I barely use it. I just scroll and that's it.
Yeah,
I don't interact too much with people on there, except on Messenger.
Well, the reason I have to deal with them is that people that I do know, that I know on a personal level, that I work with, or people that I've gone to school with, or people that I've kind of known intimately, or what have you, over the years that I it's just kind of a situation where and people who have changed from what they were previously, so it becomes a delicate situation there. And I have people telling me I should cancel some of these people, and I was like, oh, I don't cancel people, but some of them end up canceling me. So
Cancel
anyway.
culture is bad, and that's a big part of my the book I'm currently working on, about like celebrity trials and stuff like that. Like some of those are very early examples of cancel culture, like Roscoe Arbuckle.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead with the next story here. Let's see where we're at. Let's see where we go. Yeah. Megyn Kelly apparently blames Barack Obama for what happened to Charlie Kirk.
Megyn Kelly is.
Oh, what were you saying?
I don't know how. Like, it's so funny how conservatives will just never take any accountability for anything. It's always liberals' fault.
Yeah. They find a way to blame. They'll find a way to blame the left for
personal
anything.
responsibility, except when it comes to themselves.
Yeah.
going to make a bit of a shocking admission here while talking about the fallout from Charlie Kirk being killed. And man, is this a out there thought. This is incredible that she actually turned on the camera, talked into a microphone, and said this. Listen.
We don't feel like ourselves. We haven't felt like ourselves in a while. And I'm sorry to get political, but I'm just going to be honest. We haven't felt like ourselves since Barack Obama. I just think he was such a slick snake. You know, he was this affable guy who was like wearing good suits and looked the part and sounded the part and dressed the part, but was so divisive in his messaging. The left, they look at you like when you say this, they don't know what you're talking about. It's like, because you don't pay attention to the other half of the country. You only pay attention to your absurd news sources, which spin and spin and spin to protect Democrats, especially if they're named Obama.
The projection here is so thick. All you guys do is with your news outlets is spin and spin and spin and spin and spin. What are you talking about?
He's the one who started to inject race where no one had been doing it. He's the one.
Barack Obama gave a speech lecturing black youth and telling them to pull up their pants. He basically sounded like Bill Cosby. Remember when Bill Cosby used to go after black kids and say, pull up your pants, stop listening to rap music? He gave multiple speeches saying that shit. And even still, you look at him like, why are you so divisive? Why are you not taking white people's side?
Started to use his pen and the phone to shove things down our throat that we didn't want. He's the one who shoved through an entitlement on our healthcare and our personal doctor visits that he promised he wouldn't mess with, and then he did, really hurting people, causing massive anger and open lies.
The Obamacare bill is literally based off of Romney Care, which is based off of the Heritage Foundation's healthcare plan. The Heritage Foundation is a right-wing think tank. He took your idea and implemented it, and you still fucking hate him for it.
He never missed an opportunity to twist the knife on the racial issue. He would do it subtly and in his own way, but it was very clear what he was doing. For the first time, we had a president who weighed in on legal cases before they'd played out. We never did that. That was a taboo that had never been crossed.
You have got to be kidding me. You want to compare Obama weighing in on legal issues versus how often Trump does it? Trump is outright ignoring court orders multiple times. And you've said fuck all about that. Oh my God, she's so dishonest. There's a reason her background is red and she's wearing red, because she's the devil.
Donald Trump was the reason Barack Obama, reverse that. Barack Obama was the reason Donald Trump came about, that he was born as a political figure. They say Trump's divisive. He was the antidote. He was the answer to the divisiveness of Barack Obama.
You have got to be kidding me. Obama was the divisive one, and then along came Trump and solved it. Are you fucking insane? Quite literally, it's the opposite. Obama's like the mild-mannered, moderate black guy, the Jackie Robinson of American politics, completely inoffensive even to most white Americans. And then Trump comes along, and that's why some people in the past have called the Trump victory in 2016 a white lash. It was a white backlash to just having a black president. And she's basically verifying that right now. She's like, I lost my fucking mind when I saw a black president. I couldn't believe that a black person got power, and I fucking lost my damn mind. And I then went on to support the most racist, insane white man in the country. All right, I love this tweet. This tweet lays it out. Ready? I don't understand this at all. Obama was a moderate Democrat. He stepped up the drone war, including killing Americans, left gay marriage to the courts, didn't crack down on Wall Street after the Great Recession, didn't prosecute anyone for torture during the War on Terror, spent years trying to get the GOP to agree to a grand bargain on taxes and spending, always reached across the aisle. By his second term, the left didn't like him. That's correct, because I'm one of those people, because they thought he was too squishy. And who cares if he was slick, well-spoken, dressed nicely, or whatever? That's no standard. So in other words, here you have basically the exact kind of Democrat that the right should like. The right should love Bill Clinton and they should love Barack Obama. Why? Because they're centrists, because they're neoliberals, because they half agree with Republicans. Then you have these figures who agree with the right. And what happened? The right started pretending like both Bill Clinton and Barack Obama were communists and we're socialists and we're extremists. You had Rush Limbaugh beating up on Bill Clinton all day, every day in the 1990s on fucking talk radio for 3 hours. Right? And you had all of Fox News and all of talk radio beating up on Barack Obama for 8 years straight, pretending he's a communist, a Marxist, a socialist. He's insane. He's going to redistribute all the money. He's going to screw over all the white people, whatever, all that shit. He's Antifa. And so you pretend like these moderate figures are extreme, and then you guys shift the whole political spectrum to the right, where now you support open fascists and you pretend like your fascism is fucking moderate. Imagine in a moment like the assassination of Charlie Kirk, you blame Barack Obama, who was out there within an hour tweeting in just a clear condemnation of what had happened. I mean, Jesus Christ, these people are completely unreasonable. They are completely untethered from reality. They are just They live in an alternate fairy tale world where Republicans are angels and pure good and Democrats are demons and pure evil. They really live in that world. And that's crazy, especially given the fact, if you look at the actual facts on something like political assassinations, political terrorism, you look at the facts on that, it's like 90% to 10%, 90% right-wing attacks versus 10% left-wing attacks. And they still pretend like it's the exact opposite of that. They pretend like it's 90% left-wing, 10% right-wing, or 100-0. If you're keeping track, here's some of the people I've heard blamed for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. You ready? Barack Obama. Thank you, Megyn Kelly, for that one. And then on the BBC, they blamed Destiny, Hassan, and Vosh. And now we're at the point where even if you just literally write verbatim quotes of Charlie Kirk, just what he said, and you just post that, they will try to get you fired from your job. They have a whole database to get you fired from your job, to get you threatened. Some people got arrested for mocking Charlie Kirk after his death. So the anti-cancel culture people are suddenly doing cancel culture on steroids and human growth hormone, the worst spree of cancel culture I've ever seen in my life. Suddenly they're doing that. So understand something. These people have no principles. There's nothing that's sacred to them. They think we're pure good, you're pure evil, and they will try to fucking ruin you and destroy you and smear you and drag your name through the mud. And this is just a great example of it right here. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications.
He manages to put out 1 or 2 good videos a week. So I give Kyle Kalinske. He was always putting out good videos years ago, but now he still will put out 1 or 2 a week. I'll give him that. And that was
and all that. Yep.
Yeah, and that was one of his 1 or 2 good videos, and and he's right. I mean, Donald Trump is one of the most divisive presidents, and Barack Obama. I never voted for Obama. I thought Obama was a centrist wuss.
I was really disappointed by him, like in his first term. I was like, oh, why is he bailing out the banks? Why isn't he bailing out the people? Where's our universal health care? This sounds great. Like, where's our universal health care? I feel betrayed. And then ending the wars. No, he didn't do that.
I saw a continuation of George W. Bush. Maybe George W. Bush at 55 miles an hour instead of 300 miles an hour. That's what I saw. So I mean, it just kind of like it was just a repeat of Bill Clinton in that regard. It was just like when I was young, I was in my early 20s, and I thought, oh my God, Bill Clinton won. I mean, I was like, I was a Jerry Brown supporter in the primaries, but I was like, Bill Clinton was not my first choice. But when Bill Clinton won, I was like, okay, maybe he'll put a stop to Reagan and Bush. It just continued. I was like, where's the change? I that's how I turned into a socialist. It was just kind of like I was a redundant liberal Democrat, and I was just like, "Where's the change? Where's the monumental change? Where's the reverse of what I wanted to see happen?" Because I wanted that Reagan Bush crap to be put to a halt, and I wanted to see the unions jobs around. I wanted to see the universal health care. I wanted to see some of this stuff happening, and none of it was happening. And same thing happened with Obama. Well, there was the change that they claimed was going to happen. None of that happened. And I knew that was the same thing was going to happen with Biden. I knew that there was not going to be any change under Biden. So I never had a bad conscience about voting for a third party for president. So, and I would never have a bad. I can't vote for anybody in the two-party system. Again, the closest thing to the two-party system that I voted for since Bill Clinton in 1992 was Bernie in 2016 and 2020 in the primaries. And I
felt so disillusioned after Bernie got screwed over twice.
Yeah, I had a nervous breakdown. I had it took me years. I'm kind of past Bernie now, believe it or not. I'm past Bernie now, you know, but I it took me years. It took me years to get over Bernie. It took me years. I mean, you know, just yeah, I was just incensed. I mean, he bent the knee so quickly in 2020. I was just like, you could have fought to the very end too, and he did not.
That's the thing with Bernie. He's just too much of a cock.
I think he's now I don't believe now I respectfully disagree with a lot of people in my community politically where they think that he was there to recruit people into the Democratic Party. I kind of think I disagree with that per se because he could have just stayed in the Senate and mind his own damn business. So, you know, and not cause any havoc, you know, all this time. So, and just became, you know, just a quiet senator in Vermont. And so I think he tried doing, I think he made a try. I think he tried. And the Democratic Party, it just proved that the Democratic Party is a place, it's a graveyard, you know, where good ideas die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. So, and so with regard to, I think we, you know, I know you like The Amazing Atheist, so
Yeah, like I've been a fan of his videos since I was like 14.
yeah, and so this is in relation to Charlie Kirk with The Amazing Atheist. So I think you'll appreciate this.
TJ, the better Kirk.
Yeah, the better Kirk. I like that. I like that.
The good Kirk.
It's called Apologize to the Glorious Leader Trump. All right, let's see. Here we go. Oh.
In the past, I have made criticisms of glorious leader Trump. I erroneously called him a fascist and falsely stated that he was a threat to our civil liberties. I see now how foolish I was to ever question his glory and his splendor. Never has there been a smarter and more capable leader. He is by far the greatest president of my or any other lifetime. I see now that when I foolishly criticized him in the past, my feeble mind was brainwashed and radicalized by discord leftists and the Communist Democratic Party. I was also on the payroll of George Soros and Ilhan Omar, who is in fact the leader of the terrorist Antifa organization. I recant all of my previous criticisms of my own free will and of my own volition. Having at long last seen the error of my ways, I wholeheartedly apologize for any harm that I may have caused to this great administration and our beloved leader, President Donald Trump. I am hereby voluntarily giving all of my ill-gotten gains to TP USA so that I can begin to make amends for the damage that I have caused. And to any who might have been led astray by my false and defamatory criticisms of our great and glorious leader, I strongly urge you to comply with the administration and exorcise the demon of leftism from your tainted souls, accepting Jesus Christ and Donald J. Trump into your hearts.
Yeah, that's. I think he's being a little bit sarcastic. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
That's what I think. I think there's just a little bit of sarcasm coming from TJ. Yeah, just yeah. I mean, because he's making fun of the bullshit from just the hysteria trying to bully people into being nice to the legacy of Charlie Kirk and what have you, and I mean, Bernie Sanders died, and then I'm not trying to make it sound like Bernie Sanders is the end all, but if Bernie Sanders died tomorrow, I doubt that some of these right wingers would be, oh, I'm so sorry he died or whatever. They would not be doing that. What they'd be doing is a lot of them would be saying how glad they are that he died or whatever. I will bet my last dollar in my pocket that's what a lot of them would do, in my view. So anyway, just anyway, just what they do, and everything. I'm trying to find a video that there was a video that I was going to share, and I was trying to find it, and I'm scrolling right now. So and I'll find it eventually. So until then, maybe I'll find. I tell you what I'll do. How do you feel about Cracker Barrel, Angie?
I've only been there maybe a couple times as a kid. I don't think I really liked it that much, but I'm from the north, so
okay.
yeah.
It's okay. It's gone woke, right?
Yeah, they changed up the logo if I remember right, and it's like
Yeah,
some sort of hexagon.
I
got rid of the guy in the rocking chair or something.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. It's like every people don't like something, it goes woke. So this is from Revolutionary Change. Jen Perlman, Peter Hager. As you know, Jen Perlman challenged the worst Democrat in Congress, Debbie Wasserman-Schultz. Yep. And she's been a guest on this show several times. And
cool.
Yeah. And so anyway, they decided to share a video of somebody kind of, basically calling bullshit on the wokeness of Cracker Barrel.
Jewish guy.
Oh, hold on. I'm scrolling that back. Sorry about that.
Who clearly cares a lot about what's going on.
I can't stand it when it does that. There we go.
We have been saying for the longest time that it is all about corporate special interests. Corporate special interests will dictate what is and what isn't in the free market, even though there is no free market. This is a monopolized market, and it all adheres to the will of shareholders. And this is exactly what happened with Cracker Barrel. The only reason, and I said this to Jen, I say this to you guys, I say it to everybody, the only reason why Cracker Barrel changed course is because their stock was plummeting. When that happens, change happens. You fuck with their money, and then they'll have no other choice. So here we go.
By the way, is all because of Wall Street. This is all because of the stock market, because of investors, private equity, and the demand to get more value to shareholders. This has nothing to do with wokeness or DEI, you stupid sleeping babies. Okay? I'm going to explain this. McDonald's, the way McDonald's is structured is McDonald's owns the land underneath this building. They own.
Right off the bat, that is the key. And as somebody who works in commercial real estate, I can tell you that there is a huge difference between investing in a business that is leased to a property owner, or you actually own the property outright. So McDonald's is a great example. Many of the corporations do this. Not all of them do this. You know, FedEx doesn't do it all the time. CVS doesn't do it all the time. But McDonald's is an example that when they invest in a property for their business, they own the land as well as the business.
Yes.
So they have it all. And one thing that I had mentioned to Jen when we were discussing Cracker Barrel was whether or not McDonald's, as this, and this is what caught my eye, this gentleman here, what is his name, Jen?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think
Anyway.
his last name is Perlman, but I think he spells it with an A.
Well, Perlman, tomato, you know, 6 and 1/2 dozen the other. Anyway, this Jewish guy who clearly cares a lot about what's going on in our economy.
I don't
points
know
out-
that he's Jewish. Will you just let the video play? Can you just let the video play? It's so short.
No, I'm making a point here. If you look at the McDonald's in the left-hand corner, what do you see? You see the old school McDonald's with a play place. When
Yes.
you see the McDonald's on the right, what do you see?
Something clean.
And completely
Sterile.
devoid. Sterile. That's a
Yes,
good word.
hence
Sterile's a
clean.
good word.
And play places, like I told you, were breeding grounds for disgusting shit. Sorry, but they were. And by the way, when I was a kid, we didn't have those. We survived.
How will we?
Land. They're the biggest landholders in the United States when it comes to commercial properties. The franchisees then rent the building on top of them. And you know what happens? Sometimes McDonald's go out of business. And when McDonald's goes out of business, they want to put a different business in there and they want to sell the land underneath it. Well, guess what? When you have a building that can only be a McDonald's or can only be a Pizza Hut or can only be a Cracker Barrel or only be a Taco Bell, guess what? It's harder to sell those businesses. So every business has slowly been turning into a gray or beige box.
Right.
Because you know what happens when you put a vape store inside of an old Pizza Hut? We all call it, oh, the vape store inside of the old Pizza Hut. Now, in the future, they'll just pull the Pizza Hut sign off and you'll go, I think that might have used to be a Starbucks. I don't remember. I don't know. But all the buildings used to look like this. It's also easier to do upkeep on it. They all have the same dumb awning with these weird little latches attached to them. They don't have to have the special McDonald's only custom ordered roof or the special Pizza Hut red shingle or making sure that they have to do this special lighting underneath Cracker Barrel or whatever was going on with Taco Bell back in the day. They're all buying from the same company. They're all using the same parts. That brings down their cost. They're not building play places anymore. It's not because of wokeness. It's not because, oh, gay people, no. It's because insurance for a play place costs more than just having a fucking McDonald's. Because the purpose of all of these buildings is to just pay off the property taxes while the land underneath it gets more and more expensive. So eventually you can sell it to somebody. Like in the case of Cracker Barrel, maybe the fact that they have land that's connected to the edge of every single highway exit by mid-tier cities all across the United States. Maybe that'll be a good play for somebody who wants to put up electric vehicle supercharge stations. Oh,
that's a wishful thought. But
No, it doesn't. But that doesn't help me because electric vehicles are not the solution to our problems.
Oh, I agree. But I was also
That's
going
a
to
whole
say,
other problem.
yeah, well, this is, and of course, JG mentions that this is owned by BlackRock. Yes, so BlackRock obviously has a big part in this, as do all private equity giants, because again, the end goal is all about profit. Now, you can argue that retail space, it doesn't really matter. I would beg to differ because it affects the ability for small businesses to succeed. But then you also have to wonder, why is it that so many homes that are constructed today have absolutely no character? They're all cookie cutter. They all look the same. There is nothing unique about them. It's because for the builders, their goal is to maximize profits, to hell with whether or not the customer is satisfied with their property. Have a place to live, fine. But in terms of it having any real character, the best you can hope for if you have some money to spend is you could buy a home in a community that has maybe 3 or 4 different styles of that particular home. They're all the same, but they have a few different shapes, the color schemes, everything. It's all the same. And that is the decimation of what is considered any type of character, which, Jen,
homes are so much more homogenous.
when you go there, there is a certain appreciation for architecture, for just different structures in society that we do not value. I'm not even saying that we don't necessarily value it, but those that make the rules, they don't value it at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real care about character. That's one of the reasons I need to get out of South Florida. I am sick of strip malls. I am sick of buildings that look all this. I'm sick of this. Like, I feel like it's just more and more square buildings of concrete and more traffic, and that's all it is. So, yeah, I don't like any of those. See, in fact, all of those things, what they all have in common is they represent the downfall of Western civilization. Continue.
Look how they're all conveniently right here off the highway, and we have robots that can serve everybody $12 hot dogs. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but none of this has to do with wokeness, DEI, LGBT, black people, immigrants. None of that shit was caused by this. This was completely caused by Excel spreadsheets and people going, if we do less, we can cash out with more. And that's the American dream, to do fuck all and to cash out with a lot more money. Okay?
Yeah.
So when everybody was letting it get all their little panties in a bunch for it having to do with wokeness, and I was very adamant that no, but yet pearl clutching commenced. So now they're going to keep it, but who's to say that part of the strategy wasn't just to whole shake things up and have people talking about them? Because when was the last time we were all talking about Cracker Barrel?
No, I do. Normally I would agree, but at the end of the day, they have suffered mightily economically. Their stock was I don't want to say it's free falling, but it was definitely hurting. And the only language that corporate oligarchs understand is money. That's it.
Well, right. It wasn't an LGBTQ or a black issue. This wasn't a woke thing. It was, they made a calculated error and then revamped it. It's really that simple, based on money.
I will be glad to share you a story about Cracker Barrel myself. I went to Cracker Barrel and I just started mocking at how woke it was in there. I'm like, oh, look at the gift shop. Look at all the little rainbow flags that they replaced with the toy trinkets and all of that. And my goodness, everybody's wearing pink pussy hats now. They're all part of the resistance. And I love the Starbucks interior in here, is all, everybody's all hipster talking, hipster vibes, and everybody's all anti-Trump in here. And it's just it's all woke in here now. I mean it looked the same. I mean, the Cracker Barrel that's like 3 miles away from where I live, down the road off of Highway 95, they never even changed the logo, Angie. It's still the same logo.
I mean, they always take a while to change the logos. It takes time to, print out new signs, print out new packaging, all that stuff. I don't know. It's like everything is just all about profit. Like, none of these companies care about morals, ethics, or people. It's all about, shareholder value and money. And like, it's just basically, they just perfectly described in that video, just the enshittification of everything. Mm-hmm. Like, everything is just so much worse because of greed. And it's just sad. Like, one of the things that, like, I know a lot of people like rail about vintage values being bad, but one vintage value I do like is that it seemed like people in the past had a much more appreciation for art and just making things look good. Like, old architecture is great. Like, one thing that never gets old to me here in England is looking at all these old buildings that are like older than America. And I'm like, these are so cool. And I feel like I'm walking around Disney, and I love that. I don't care if people think I'm cringe for saying it looks like Disney, but that was kind of my frame of reference as an American, like as an American kid, who'd never been overseas until I was a teenager.
Well, when I was in Ireland, I remember every pub I went to, and there was a story about how that pub emerged in the 1800s, in the 1700s. I mean, and it was just, I mean, it was just, really awesome. I went to the various pubs in London, but I don't remember the story about the
Actually,
pubs.
a lot of them are chains now here. Like in England, Weatherspoons just owns a bunch of pubs, but the one good thing about Weatherspoons is it's the cheapest place to drink. It's really cheap.
Oh my God. Jim E. Brown has a song about being kicked out of the Weatherspoons.
It's a very British song.
Yeah. So, I guess we'll go with the next story. You know what happened to Glenn Greenwald last year, right?
Wait, what happened to him?
Well, somebody tried to destroy his reputation.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Somebody tried to destroy his reputation with the fact that oh my gosh, gasp, that he was involved in gay sex, in what would be called mild kink. It was filmed, and they decided to try to destroy his reputation as a result. So his friend that lives in Brazil as well, Nico House, decided to defend Glenn Greenwald because of course, it's not that big a deal, but they try to make it a big deal. So we'll go ahead and play the video. Nico House is talking about it.
Breaking news, everybody. 2 consenting adults had sex, and one of them just so happened to be a journalist. Oh my God! Yes, somebody leaked a tape of Glenn Greenwald having consensual intimacy with another adult. And yeah, Glenn released a statement about it, but I think I speak for everybody when I say, we don't need to read all that, because 98.999% of us don't give a flying fuck if Glenn Greenwald has sex. What? First of all, videos like this, pictures and photos like this don't leak about famous people unless there's some type of motivation behind it. And in this particular case, we know the motivation is political. We know it's probably because he constantly speaks out against Zionism as one of the very few popular Jewish personalities who constantly condemn genocide in Israel. And considering how much Glenn speaks out against Israel, and we've already seen this playbook before by them, no one would put it past them to leak something like this, trying to discredit Glenn's years and years and years of amazing journalism because he has consensual sex.
Israel is the #1 recipient of NSA technology and NSA intelligence. We share more with Israel, even more than we do with the Five Eyes partners who develop this technology. We give more to Israel, more intelligence, raw intelligence about Americans as well. But at the same time, the documents that describe who are our greatest intelligence threats, who are our greatest intelligence adversaries, who spies on us the most, who is capable of spying out the most, #1 on the list is Israel as well, which I simply mean to say that Israel uses every weapon at its disposal, including gathering incriminating information about its enemies.
He doesn't recruit his sons to sell kosher dildos while attempting to grow a beard that resembles pubic hair that someone had attempted to cut but gave up halfway through because it hurt too much. And if you think I'm talking about Rabbi Shmuley, that's on you, not on me. And that's exactly what my lawyer is going to say if he tries to sue. Do you know who I judge in situations like this? Not the person consenting to have sex in a video. I'm judging the person who thought it was a good idea to leak a video of someone having consensual sex. Because what the hell? Like, are we supposed to be shocked that adults do adult things? Shit, if anything, I'm happy for my boy. Go ahead, get those big dog. Shit, I had sex last night. And may I say, it was phenomenal. I should have recorded it. Then maybe I can have somebody leak it and I can be trending like Glenn is right now. Because the only thing that y'all are going to achieve is have a bunch of videos and articles from Glenn Greenwald that's exposing the establishment, the elites, and the Zionists trying to blackmail him. And now he's going to be more famous now than he was before, if that's even possible. But just to be clear, on a serious note, Glenn does get his own reality TV show now, right? Because that's what happens when someone leaks your sex tape, right? It's supposed to be keeping up with the Greenwalds now. But I'm just going to say, Glenn, no escape. A gente ficava na mesma cidade. Então, se essa série rola assim e você consegue um contrato com Netflix ou algo assim, chama seu irmão, não esquece. Porque eu estou tentando me aposentar também, cara. Se você consegue um contrato com Netflix, uma série, I'm trying to get rich too. I don't want to have to leak my own sex tape for me to be trending on Twitter all over the world. That's all I'm saying, dog. Don't forget me, is all I'm saying. But in all seriousness, man, keep doing what you do. Nobody cares about your personal life. If anything, the only people who do care are Zionists, disingenuous actors, and dudes whose little wee-wees probably don't work, so they couldn't make their own sex tape even if they wanted to.
Yeah. And Glenn Greenwald, I mean, he there's people trying to destroy his reputation, and there are people out there that claim that he's right wing. You know that, right?
Yep.
Yeah. He's not changed. It's just that he's not changed. It's like, but the situation has changed, and so. And if anything, if anything, the people who were his allies on the shit lib left will probably be his allies again, because, I mean, he's consistent, and that's why for a while it looked like he was siding with the right. He was never really siding with the right. He was just being consistent. So. But there are people out there that want to destroy his reputation, and claiming that he was pro Jair Bolsonaro. You've heard that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? No.
He's the reason why Lula was freed from prison. So I don't see where he's pro Bolsonaro. I mean, Lula himself said that he's a free man because of Glenn Greenwald. But anyway, but yeah, they try to destroy his reputation and everything, and they had a sex tape with him and in a precarious positions and all of that, and try to embarrass him and all that, and yeah, so it's like it's like that was just in bad taste, and it was consensual, and he's single again because his husband died like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think I remember him being widowed in the last years. Yeah.
So so anyway, let's see here. Let's see, it's getting like it's almost 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I probably got to grab a bite to eat in a little bit. Do you have any final thoughts before we go?
Just anything to share? Anything? Well, I still have my book for sale. It's a Crime of the Century, Classic Rock and True Crime, and it's a nonfiction book with over 20 true stories about rock stars' encounters with murderers and serial killers, attempted murderers, as well as stories about musicians who've become murderers themselves. And the stories span from like the early 60s to the early 80s, so like 20 plus years of music history there, like as far as what years the musicians were making music. But there's like the most recent story in there is Phil Spector killing Lana Clarkson, and that was in 2003, February 3rd. And there's a whole coincidence about that with Joe Meek, his British counterpart, who killed his landlady and then turned the gun on himself on February 3rd, 1967. And Joe Meek had a fortune teller friend who predicted the death of Buddy Holly on February 3rd.
There you go. And you have another book you're working on.
Yes, so I alluded to a book about celebrity trials that I'm working on, and it's going to be about the history of celebrity trials, the first 100 years of it, because my main specialty is 20th century history and pop culture. So it's going to be a wider range of celebrities, from a couple playwrights to comedians, athletes, musicians. It's going to be just a wild and crazy ride, but it's a real education, reading about like Victorian era literature, reading about early baseball, like the dead ball era, old Hollywood, like not old Hollywood, like older than old Hollywood, really, because silent film, pre-code era Hollywood, really interesting stuff I'm reading about, and now I'm reading about boxing. So a lot of different things that I'm learning about.
Okay, all right,
and yeah, you can buy my book on my website, crazyonclassicrock.com, or if you go on Google and you search for The Diversity of Classic Rock by Angie Moon, you should be able to find it. Yeah, and the website looks different. I back in December, I went to a talk that was hosted by the author of the Granny Takes a Trip book, as well as two of the founders of that boutique from the 60s. So it was really cool to meet those guys who started the boutique, Nigel Weymouth and John Pierce. That was really cool. And I got my book signed by them and the author of the book. And yeah, inspired by Granny Takes a Trip, I decided to redesign my website to have an Art Nouveau look and dark purple. Really, I think that was what Granny Takes a Trip once had in their decor, was just a dark purple or dark red walls and all this like 1890s 1900s kind of look. Yeah, that's it. And I designed that that banner. Well, I didn't do the drawings. That's obviously like Aubrey Beardsley there, like the Salome drawing and the little flower thing in the middle. And I don't know what the thing on the outside is. It's not Aubrey Beardsley, but it's some similar style. And I combined that with rainbows because you know, gotta represent pride.
Yeah,
and
very psychedelic.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of like the 1990s and the scratch art paper, and that's kind of like just an aesthetic I'm all about, is like combining the two 90s, combining centuries and making it look like something psychedelic. And like the font is very Led Zeppelin. I don't know, there's something about like, I'm just fascinated with how the 1890s really inspired the 1960s, and it was known as the gay 90s. In case people are wondering, it's true. Like if it's just like so crazy that that's what it's called.
Well, I do remember how gay the 90s were.
Well,
Everybody.
the 90s were the gay 90s for some reason, even though it was illegal to be gay then.
Yeah.
In the UK.
Yeah, in the 90s, everybody at my college, there was like, oh, okay.
I think there was that bisexual issue of Newsweek or something that came out in 1995 or something.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
And it
I
was
don't know.
very,
I was old then.
but and everything was psychedelic too.
Yeah, I mean the 90s had a lot of 60s and 70s revival. So yeah, that was really cool. And like I'm a big fan of Lisa Frank. So yeah, there's a big influence in that drawing up there at the top.
Yeah. You know, now I was an ally. I was always the ally of the LGBTQ, but an active participant of the psychedelic.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, LSD was very much a very close friend of mine back.
I wish I could try LSD. I've only ever tried shrooms. I've obviously smoked weed.
Oh, you never tried LSD?
No, I've never tried LSD. I really want to though.
Wow.
The only LSD I've ever had was just driving along Lakeshore Drive in Chicago.
Let's see. If you were to try LSD, what records would you listen to?
Ooh, probably like Jimi Hendrix and Pink Floyd.
Okay. Which Pink Floyd records will you listen to?
Oh, Sid Barrett. That's the kind of stuff.
Yes.
Early stuff. Dark Side of the Moon, maybe a bit of Animals, The Wall, like the good stuff.
Yeah. I did listen to Piper at the Gates of Dawn when I was tripping on LSD. Yes.
Like that whole album cover inspired a lot of my aesthetic. I love that little prism photography and like that kind of multi-image lens. I have a vintage one in my collection, one of those kinds of vintage multi-image lens filters. I have a few like reproduction ones that are pretty cool, and then I have a lava lamp projector that I'm looking at right now in my room. And in front of me, I have like my Kinks album on the wall, a David Bowie album, the Aladdin Sane album on the wall, an album of the Pretty Things, a few 45s from my uncle's collection in the 60s. So I have like a Rolling Stones one, a Beatles one, and a Kinks one up there. Pretty cool.
And you know what my first exposure to Pink Floyd was? You know what's the first song I ever heard from Pink Floyd?
What was it?
See Emily Play.
Ah, that's a good one. And David Bowie covered that on the Pinups album.
and you know, a lot of people was like Dark Side of the Moon and The Wall and everything, and I appreciate and respect all of Pink Floyd, but when I am in the Pink Floyd mood, I am more into the Sid Barrett stuff. So
it's good stuff. Lately, I've been listening a lot to the Hollies because I'm going to be doing a podcast on them on Sunday, so that's going to be really fun.
Yeah. Well, let's see. If you ever do trip, yeah, I do recommend a compilation called Beyond the Calico Wall.
Ooh, let me look that up.
Yeah, it's a 1960s compilation of underground 60s bands, garage bands, and it is made for tripping.
Ooh.
I can forward it to you if you like. You know, the YouTube playlist of it. I mean, it is, you know, I mean, the music is just wild.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it is. It's just
I feel
absolutely.
like rock, like late 60s, early 70s. That's like the best time for music, in my opinion. Like late 60s is great. Also, I just love the entirety of the 60s. Early 60s was really good too. A lot of people just be like, oh no, is it really that good? I'm like, there's some great stuff. Like I love that kind of Fallout sounding music, like from the early 60s. Surf rock's great, guitar instrumentals. I love the Ventures and the Shadows, both great, really great bands.
I love from the 60s or like the garage rock bands that you find on the Nuggets compilations. Are you familiar with Nuggets?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was great. Like the radio station I used to work at in university, they had the Nuggets on vinyl.
Yeah. And are you familiar with Pebbles?
Yeah.
I love Pebbles. Pebbles and Nuggets they're both awesome compilations. Beyond the Grave is also good. And I mean, you really get the, you know, those bands that they were influenced by the Beatles and the Stones, but they had that amateur sort of you know, amateur unpolished raw sound, you know. And
oh, great stuff. Like I love the Sonics. The Seeds are also really good. Seeds are amazing.
The fuzz, you know, that fuzz guitar,
Fuzz
the
guitar
box
is the best.
organ.
I have an entire fuzz guitar playlist, and it has like hundreds of songs on it.
Do you know that I own a box organ?
Oh, cool! I didn't know that. Do you play it?
Not very well. And do you also know that I own a Farfisa compact?
Oh, that's cool. Farfisas are cool.
Yeah. So I just because I love those old combo organs from the 1960s.
Oh, the Hammond organs are great too. I love a Hammond organ.
They're heavy though. They're physically heavy. Yeah, but so are the Vox organ. Believe it or not, those combo organs from the 60s are heavy. I mean, they're heavy and bulky and everything. And yeah, and I'll tell you a funny story, and I'll be leaving in a second here. But when I saw Stereolab one time, I saw them tons of times. They would play those old combo organs, and I kind of annoyed them one time because I was up. I kind of went up on not up on the stage, but I was up in the front row, and I kind of reached over and I pressed the key on the box. So I was drunk, you know. So but they were a good sport. I met them after the show in Chapel Hill. This is back in 2004. So some of those old memories, and they have a good 60s sound. You're familiar? I'm sure you're familiar with Stereolab.
No, actually.
Oh, really? You should listen to Stereolab. You know, in fact, I remember I was playing Stereolab for somebody one time. They say, "Yeah, it sounds like something you would hear from Austin Powers." So, I think you will like Stereolab. Actually, in fact, I think you will love it.
Ooh, I'm already seeing under influences the motoric technique of Noy and Faust. Ooh, that sounds really good.
Yeah, I
love that kind of beat. That motoric beat is really cool.
Yeah. So, well, listen, I will. You stick around for a moment. I will say my goodbyes to everybody here on the chat line. Tim Buck, 2505.
They're amazing.
Yeah, let's see. We have we have Lurley, and he's from North Carolina. Thanks, guys. Extra Bulla, our friend Warren. Thank you. Let's see. We have here Max Sarjay. How are you doing? The rule of law, where governments make the rules that people have to follow, and them are the fear prosecution are the death, same as it is as ever been. All right, let's see. Anna Moose is from the UK, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we got friends across the Atlantic here. So, all right, let's see. We also have CBC Voter. All right, and we have, all right,
hello,
Bella Lugrisi. We have the Undercurrent. That's Warren.
Now I have a Bauhaus song stuck in my head.
We have Peace Dub. Okay, all right. And I think that's pretty much everybody here. All right. So I will go and say goodbye to everybody. If y'all like what you heard, please press like and comment. Comment any way you disagree with what I have to say. Feel free to comment. Feel free to comment. That's the First Amendment absolutist. It's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we're the muckrakers of our time. Subscribe to the Willie Bragg Show and all here on YouTube and all of my platforms. And remember, free Snowden, free Palestine, free healthcare for all. Keep our First Amendment free, and fuck Donald Trump. So y'all take care, and we will talk soon. See y'all. Actually, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow.